I'm an influencer. Trusting my boyfriend, I agreed to have all the income from my platform account deposited under his company. The company's shareholders were just his relatives and friends, and I had nothing to do with it. Who knew less than 6 months later I'd get dumped so hard? Checked the accounts, the company had no money left. It was all transferred. I got scammed out of a whopping 200 million. And then I found out I was pregnant. Classic case of being swindled emotionally and financially. I was devastated, had an abortion, and couldn't shake off the heartbreak. Most of my followers were male. They were fed up with my in love stupid decisions. After all that, a bunch of followers left. Emotionally crushed, income tanked, and I became a shadow of myself. I ended up with depression. One late night, overwhelmed by another wave of fans criticizing me, I wasn't thinking straight, sat in the bathtub, and sank under the water. Then I was reborn. Back to the day I was supposed to sign that paper. In that very moment, I sat at the conference table holding a pen. Black and white words, clear as day. My boyfriend, Lynn, sat opposite, eagerly watching me. Nora, trust me, I'll take care of everything. Oh really? Trust you to scam me out of 200 million? I threw the pen aside and said, I've changed my mind. Not signing. Instantly, I felt a weight lift off my shoulders. I casually patted my assistant next to me. Let's go, there's plenty to do. My assistant gave me a surprised look and quickly gathered up the stuff from the table. Lynn was shocked, his mouth wide open. He hurried around the table to block my way. Nora, didn't we agree on this? This is a win-win for us. And our lawyer has already prepared the documents for us. Us. Lynn was good at making it sound like it benefited both of us when really I was the one losing while he gained. I glanced at his bootlicking lawyer. Last time, I was really out of my mind to share a lawyer with Lynn. I practically helped count the money I was being conned out of. I gave a slight smile. From now on, the lawyer is yours. He's no longer mine. Lynn ignored the people watching and tightly held my hand, earnestly saying, Nora, you're just a young girl, your parents are gone, you've worked so hard for so many years out there alone, my heart aches for you. And there's nobody else you can trust besides me. Last time, I was moved by his moments of pity. Now, I didn't want to hear his nonsense at all. I interrupted him, you're wrong, I have many people I can trust. There was another line I held back, you're the one I can't trust the most. Lynn backed down, it's fine if you don't sign today, you can think about it, we can sign when you change your mind. Then he patted my head. His look was both greasy and sentimental. I probably felt nothing since there were no feelings involved. It wasn't heartwarming, just gross. I just wanted to hurry home to wash my hair. I decided to crush his delusion, there's no need to think about it. I'm definitely not signing. Lynn chuckled awkwardly, never say never, women are fickle. I couldn't be bothered to argue, firmly removed his hand, and said to everyone present, Lynn, I formally announce in front of everyone today, I, Nora, am breaking up with you. Maybe I was too accommodating to Lynn before because now everyone seemed stunned by the sudden change. Ignoring Lynn's dramatic performance behind me, I walked out of the meeting room without a backward glance. With my hands on the steering wheel, a flood of thoughts ran through me. Lynn, a typical middle-aged man, 16 years older than me, with an ex-wife and a son, earned less than I did, was average-looking and built, and seemed to age to the point his gums were barely visible when he smiled. Apparently, being in love can mess with your brain's neural circuits and structures, especially those associated with emotions and social connections, like the prefrontal cortex and hippocampus. Last time, my hippocampus must have mutated for me to fall for him. No wonder my followers mocked me. In this reborn life, my hippocampus is finally normal. As for Lynn, whoever wants him can have him. How did Lynn coax me into signing last time? Oh right, after one intimate moment, Lynn whispered in my ear, you're young and haven't studied finance. Let my professional team manage your money. Initially, I hesitated until he said, where your love is, that's where your money should be. Nora, don't you love me? I was such a fool. To prove my love, I handed all my money over to him. Even at the cost of falling out with Auntie, who raised me. Auntie wasn't fond of Lynn. Auntie's belief was, if a man truly loves a woman, he won't want her money. He won't borrow money, make excuses to spend her money, or use her fame to make money, he'll only want to give her money. I actually argued back then, Lynn isn't like you think. He has his own business, he's got money. I have no idea about finance stuff, he just wants to help lessen my worries. Auntie just shook her head, anyone can see Lynn's not trustworthy. Thinking back now, Auntie's words were golden truths. My mom died in childbirth. I was not even 6 months old, and my dad just vanished and never came back. Auntie was basically my real mom. And I fell out with her over this guy? I drove to Auntie's house. Auntie was in the kitchen, hands covered in flour, making my favorite shepherd's purse dumplings. I didn't care, just hugged her tightly and wouldn't let go. Auntie seemed annoyed and kept mumbling, "If you don't listen to elders, you suffer the consequences. I swear, it's like watching you walk into a trap. How could you hand over your hard-earned money to him?" Auntie thought I had signed something. I waited for her to finish and then cheekily said, "How about I give it to you to manage for me?" "No way," Auntie said, brushing away my hands. "Manage your own money, I don't have the energy for that." Suddenly, she seemed startled. "Did you not sign?" "Didn't sign," I said as I tossed a plate of dumplings into the boiling pot. "And I broke up with him today." Auntie widened her eyes. "Really?" She pinched my cheek. "You never listened to advice before. Did you really come around? What changed your mind?" I replied, "I had a dream." "Want to hear?" "If I stayed with him, I accidentally got pregnant, lost most of my followers, and in my weakest moment, he took all my money and left. I couldn't handle it and ended up, you know." Auntie made a dismissive sound. "Dreams are often the opposite," I said. "I finally believe what people have been saying. I see now he's not genuinely interested in me. He just wants my money." Auntie looked relieved. "Don't doubt yourself because of this. Our Nora is so lovable. Guys will come your way." I blushed. Love, schmove. But Auntie got worried. Since his plan didn't work and he's kind of extreme, might he do something harmful? Auntie's worry turned out to be spot on. The same day, Lynn did a live stream targeting my fans. It was a paid one. It soon hit trending. In a past incident, he also streamed something like this, again about my fans. That time, he told stories of how we got together, each word full of smugness. The gist? That I chased him. I'm a sports blogger. I met Lynn at a pool hall. I was filming, and he watched nearby. Once I was done, he politely pointed out my mistakes and gave me a couple of tips. I reshot the video, and it turned out much better. Grateful, I offered to buy him dinner. After that, he pursued me, constantly checking in and showing concern for my development. I got touched and started liking him for no apparent reason. No rhyme or reason, like I was under some spell. Post-breakup, trying to heal, I saw a therapist. The therapist explained that lacking a father figure made me crave love. His age and maturity made me wrongly see him as my ideal partner. Only when I got depressed did I realize his mature exterior hid a greasy, stubborn nature. In that past live stream, he painted our story as me desperately trying to get close to him by inviting him to meals, with him reluctantly agreeing to be with me. To my past self, this seemed like shy modesty, unable to admit he liked me. Now I see, a guy liking a girl shouldn't have to play games. My own projections made me see him through rose-colored glasses, obscuring his true self. Many bloggers, including celebs, wouldn't do paid streams just for followers. But he had the nerve to charge, exploiting me, for $5 each. Some folks did the math. From that stream alone, he made millions overnight. Fans questioned his motives, saying he smeared my name, and I jumped to his defense, offering excuses. He charges to keep fake or bad fans away from me. Oh my goodness, I couldn't believe the excuses I made. What nonsense. How could I even say that? In today's stream, Lynn cried fake tears, acting all heartfelt. He complained to netizens that we had a misunderstanding, asking for advice. The comments? Just break up, dude. Online folks were always smart. I should have listened earlier. I told my assistant to message him that we had no misunderstanding. I genuinely wanted to break up. After a long wait, Lynn replied, "You're not signing? Then forget breaking up. Don't forget, your little video is still with me." Those words made my heart race and sweat break out. My assistant looked at me, worried. Should we still release the breakup statement tonight? I tapped my pen on my notes. Those few words felt so heavy. I knew once I released it, it would be like opening Pandora's box. Who knows what would come next, especially since those videos made in the heat of the moment were still with Lynn. I took a deep breath and decided to handle this more calmly. Let's hold off for now. Frustrated, I needed to do something to vent. So I deleted all the videos from my profile where Lynn appeared. The more I deleted, the angrier I got. There were quite a lot. Free publicity for him, really. And what was I wearing in those clips? Clearly, I'm a vibrant 24-year-old. But with Lynn, I changed my style drastically, trying to hide our age gap and make him look good by dulling my own shine to appear 42. A woman can tell if she's better or worse off with someone by whether they nurture or drain her. With Lynn, it was all drain. The life-sucking kind. Just 5 minutes after deleting the video, I got a message on Instagram from a male influencer. "Having trouble with your boyfriend? His name is Luca, and he has 3 times the followers I do." I figured his fame was because of his unique angle. He's a model and food blogger, and a dude, on top of that. Pretty rare combo. Basically, Luca is one of those people everyone envies. He can eat whatever and still stay slim. About 3 months ago, after seeing his posts for the umpteenth time, I started following him. He immediately messaged me, "Finally, you're following me." Turns out he had been following me for a while. I joked back, "Maybe you're the little brother." Turns out we're both summer babies. He's a month younger, so he is technically a little brother. Luca lives in the same city as me. Last time around, he often organized meetups for local influencers, but I was too caught up in romantic evenings with Lynn to ever go. Today, he sent me a message offering sympathy. I wasn't going to reply, but I was kind of overwhelmed, so I said, "Can you believe it? I want to break up, but I can't." He kept typing for a while, and then finally sent, "Mind if I ask if he's got something on you?" Another message followed quickly, "I have no ill intentions. If you need help, let me know." I asked, "Do you know any good lawyers?" He sent a facepalm emoji. "How come you don't have a lawyer already?" I was embarrassed to admit that Lynn and I had shared one lawyer before. After a few minutes, Luca sent me a contact for a female lawyer. He mentioned, "My lawyer recommended her, and I thought it might be easier for you two to communicate since you're both women." I thanked him and immediately added Jill's contact to get an overview of my situation. Jill reassured me that if Lynn dared to leak my personal videos, he would be violating privacy, reputational rights, and it could be considered a crime involving obscene material. Jill was firm, "If he really does that, I'll personally make sure he ends up in jail." But, she softened, "As a young woman, any leaked videos can affect your reputation. We'll do our best to prevent it from ever getting to that point." Jill's words gave me a sense of peace I hadn't felt all night. I was about to thank her and hang up when she added, "No matter what happens, no matter where this goes, no matter what the internet says, remember, never blame yourself. You did nothing wrong. The real problem is people like Lynn." Jill's words made my eyes well up. In my last life, everyone thought I was depressed because of heartache and loss. But deeper down, while I loathed Lynn for how he treated me, the person I hated most was myself. When I agreed to make those intimate videos, it was like offering my own vulnerability to Lynn. I practically handed him a weapon. In my past life, people called me reckless and shameless. They asked why I didn't protect myself. They asked why I agreed if I knew the risks. Some even said I wasn't a victim, but a collaborator. I bought into it. In a way, I allowed it all. I blamed myself countless times. I cursed myself endlessly, so much that the guilt crushed me. I saw no escape other than death. But no girl, not even the weakest, can live through that twice. Jill's words were a massive comfort and strength to me. I decided no matter how arrogant, shameless, or mean Lynn is, I will stand my ground against him. With tears in my eyes, I choked up, "Thank you, Jill. I know what I need to do now." Day one of this new chance at life left me exhausted. After a shower, I planned to sleep, but Lynn's calls were relentless, one after another. In my past life, my heart would flutter just to see his name pop up. But now, seeing his name only makes me nauseous. I ignored the calls, turned off my phone, and went to sleep. The next morning, I woke up to loudspeaker noise right outside my building. An Indian-accented man shouted, "Nora, I miss you," over the clattering of pots. It sounded like a funeral procession. When the knocking on my bedroom door started, Auntie came in looking pissed. "Lynn's so childish. Does he think he's some movie director, huh?" I replied, clueless. Auntie rolled her eyes. "You really need to watch us say something nice." I jolted out of bed and peered out the window to see an old man collecting recyclables, creating the ruckus, while Lynn stood there proudly in a shiny white suit. He looked smug, hands rubbing together, sure he was going to win this one. Someone was filming the scene. Lynn was likely planning to post this online for more clicks. Neighbors were shouting at him to knock it off, but he just arrogantly told them off. Seeing him so full of himself, my fists clenched. In my past life, what pissed off the online audience most was me being tied to him in any way. If I went down now, it would be just what he wanted. Whether I rejected or accepted him, he'd get the attention. I called the cops. "Officer, there's a noise disturbance at XX community. Can you come please?" Meanwhile, our community chat was buzzing, wondering who Lynn is and who he was disturbing. Complaints about the chaos he caused were pouring in. I felt bad for the hassle Lynn was causing my neighbors. Using Auntie's phone, I shot back a message. "Looks like the influencer he's after moved out a while ago." Someone asked, "When did that happen?" I started sweating profusely. It must be these past few days. I saw the guy downstairs in a live stream yesterday. He said he had beef with some influencer. He's probably here to stir things up. Someone in the chat chimed in, "Saw the stream. They're definitely having issues." Another said, "If it's that bad, just break up. No need to make a scene." Someone else added, "This guy's just barking like a dog." I was worried Lynn might blow things up, but thankfully the property management stepped in. First the security guard showed up. Not long after, the cops arrived. Once the police showed up, Lynn calmed right down and left with his camera gear. I never had to make an appearance. Even though he uploaded the video and played the lovesick part again, it barely got any views. The few comments it received were just people criticizing him for disturbing the peace and misusing public resources. Within a few hours, he deleted it out of embarrassment. Auntie was panicking, pacing in circles at home with red, worried eyes, blaming herself for not preventing it from getting this far. I couldn't sleep a wink last night thinking about your situation. In distress, she lamented. I just knew he wasn't reliable, but I didn't expect him to be so shameless. I should have put my foot down and stopped you from being with him. I should have really made a stand, even threatened with my life, to make sure you two didn't start anything. I tried to comfort her. It's my own fault for jumping into it, don't blame yourself. Auntie started crying. Thank goodness the security stopped him today. What if next time he knocks on the door? No, you can't stay here. What if he waits for you next time and sees you? Even if he doesn't do anything, it's still too much stress. It pained me to see her so worried, all because of my stubborn pursuit of love. If I hadn't been so headstrong, Auntie wouldn't be so anxious. But she did convince me of one thing, moving to a new place to lay low for a while might be a good idea. As I was thinking about it, Luca messaged me, I saw that video from you-know-who today. Is he bothering you? I decided there was no point in hiding it from Luca. I told him I'm planning to move to another place for now. Luca offered, if you don't mind, I've got an empty villa. You and your family can stay there for a while. He considerately added, don't worry, it's safe. And I usually won't bother you guys. And I definitely won't film you to get trending. Besides, I have way more followers than you do. I don't need your boost. I burst out laughing. It hit me then, this was the first time I'd really laughed since my new start. Luca's villa was in the suburbs, surrounded by beautiful landscapes and fresh air. Most importantly, it was well secured. The locks had triple digits. There were even 2 guards at the entrance. Luca was leading the way, sounding proud. This is pretty much my safe house. As the saying goes, the outside butterflies can't get in and the inside ones can't get out. Auntie was amazed, though she jokingly scolded me for not earning enough to afford such a place. Well, they say going from rich to poor is hard for a reason. For safety's sake, Luca advised us not to leave the premises. And safe it was. Not only could outside butterflies not get in, even the flies didn't come our way. Every morning, a housekeeper would check in, asking what we'd like to eat or drink. We'd be notified when meals were ready. Dirty clothes went straight to the laundry basket, picked up on schedule daily. There were plenty of things to do. Living room on the first floor, bedrooms on the second, gym and pool on the third, library and tea room on the fourth. The basement had a huge screen. Every night, I'd grab a bottle of wine and cozy up to a movie. Life was quite laid back. Auntie wasn't used to it though. She spent a lifetime working. Here, she didn't have to shop for groceries, cook, or clean, and it made her uneasy. So uneasy, she couldn't sleep well. Every day she'd remind me, no matter how rich, you can't live like this forever. Or if you do, you shouldn't hire this many people. It's too comfortable. I feel like I'm wasting away. I reassured her, in a house like this, helpers are a necessity. It'd take all day just to clean the floors. No need to worry. If I ever do get a place like this, we won't grow flowers. We'll make a big garden for you to grow veggies to keep you busy. Still, Auntie couldn't handle it. After 6 days, she insisted on going back home. So, I let her. Luca dropped by once, sneaking in at night. I was watching a movie, enjoying his smooth red wine. Leaning back lazily in my chair, I joked with Luca not to worry. I'd repay him by bringing the finest from Italy. Luca seemed a bit on edge. He sat straight, watching me, gently taking the glass from my hand and placing it down, trying to talk. The sound system was excellent, but I was tipsy, so I didn't catch what he was saying at first. Frustrated, he leaned in and said, I'm not worried about you drinking, just don't overdo it. With that, I awkwardly set the glass aside as a good guest should. It got a little awkward for a moment. I said, well, I'll get back to my movie then. Luca nodded. His phone kept ringing. Busy as he was, he left soon after. I've been laying low, not posting any new vids. Sure, the income loss stung a bit. Luckily, Luca and I were messaging each other casually on Instagram. He calmly advised, you can't make money forever. A break's good. Made sense. Staying at Luca's was like a mini vacation. Meanwhile, Lynn, unable to find me, started acting up again. For some reason, he posted a bunch of weird stuff about Yang Guifei on his page. Nonsensical and scattered logic, not really targeting me, so I ignored it. That was until my assistant gave me a ring. So Lynn couldn't get in touch with me and started bothering my assistant instead. He wrote these long essays accusing me of betrayal. This last time, he even added more to the story. He made up this wild tale about how I was rejected by Leon, and that's why I went after his dad in a fit of rage. Couldn't get the son, so went after the father. If I don't sign the papers, he's threatening to expose my videos and this made-up story. Is he for real? Had to think for a moment to recall who Leon even is. Just some college sophomore, in his early 20s, acne all over, blonde hair, as skinny as a beanpole. I mean, I'm not even into young guys. And even if I was, it'd be someone with washboard abs. Okay, seriously, can't believe what people come up with about me. My assistant asked me, what does this have to do with the Yang Guifei thing? Have they got a throne to inherit? There's a rumor that Yang Guifei was first married to the emperor's son, but then caught the emperor's eye and became his favorite concubine. I was fuming. He's implying I'm some modern-day Yang Guifei, just for anyone. I was seething, didn't realize Lin could stoop so low. It's one thing to spread lies, but he's basically dumping a whole bucket of crap on me. I asked Jill for advice. After hearing me out, Jill calmed me down. You need proof for everything. If he actually tries this, we'll sue him for defamation. I felt like sending Jill a red envelope for her advice. Jill laughed. I'll skip the consultation fee, but if it involves a lawsuit later, maybe I'll take a service charge. I mean, you're little Luca's goddess after all. When did I become Luca's goddess? And why does she call him little Luca? Are they that close? Sensing my confusion, Jill explained. Luca's my cousin, my actual cousin. He begged me to help you out no matter what. Wondering if I should publicly announce the breakup, Jill thought out loud. Given the situation, not breaking up might give him more opportunities to cause trouble. Why not just announce it and take the initiative? Then whatever he tries next, we'll be ready and waiting. As soon as I hung up, I got in touch with Luca. Jill's your cousin, and you didn't tell me. Luca hesitated. Didn't want you to feel awkward because of our connection. I laughed. Why would I be awkward? I'd trust her even more. Luca sighed. You trust people too easily. Have you ever thought that I might want to hurt you? In my last life, after we broke up, many friends stayed by my side. Luca was one of them. He always took me to try all sorts of delicious foods, but back then I was in such a depressed state that nothing could bring back my appetite. I told him confidently, I'm sure you wouldn't hurt me. I'm right about that. Nora, Luca hesitated over the phone. Can I come over to see you? I chuckled. This is your place. You can come anytime you want. I'll send out the breakup statement, and when you come over, it'll be like celebrating my newly single life. Less than an hour later, Luca arrived with his assistant. They were carrying bags full of stuff. They even brought hot pot ingredients. How do you know I was craving hot pot? I exclaimed in surprise. Luca smiled. Though the dishes made by our housekeeper are good, I figured you might be getting tired of them. Thought a change would be good. They unloaded all the food onto the table. It was a feast for the eyes. 4 different broth bases. Pure happiness. While eating, I couldn't resist telling Luca about Lin's Yang Guifei scheme. Luca was visibly taken aback. He looked like he wanted to say something, but hesitated. I just laid it out there. You don't seriously think there's a chance I'd be into both father and son, do you? Luca asked with hesitation. So, you're in love with both? For crying out loud. Love? Not even one of them. Luca let out a sigh of relief. He placed a piece of freshly boiled beef in my bowl. Even if you had been with both of them, doesn't necessarily mean anything. I was shocked. He's way too lenient. Luca's voice was gentle. A girl's past relationships, no matter how messy, don't define who she is. I had doubts. So if a girl dates a guy knowing he has someone else, is even that okay? Luca thought for a moment. We shouldn't judge so simply. Just because she was with someone she shouldn't be doesn't make her a lost cause. She might have just been confused, made a bad choice. We can understand, maybe even forgive. Before I could comment on how Luca's compassion rivaled a saint, my assistant called. She told me to check Instagram right away. Lin saw my breakup announcement and couldn't reach me, so he sent screenshots of the video to my assistant. The image wasn't clear, but you could tell the main actress was me. He threatened, tell Nora she's got 3 days to issue a retraction. Otherwise, I'll show the whole world what she looks like without clothes. Luca noticed my pale face and shaking body, figuring out something was wrong. I waved him off. No need to see it. Even with all the mental prep since breaking up with Lin, expecting something like this could happen, facing it in reality is another story. It's when it hits you that you realize how vulnerable you still are. If it really gets out. 6. If everyone saw the most secretive, private, and ugly side of me, just imagine the comments and insults. Suddenly, my stomach twisted in pain. Cold sweat covered my forehead. I couldn't even take a bite of the delicious hot pot. Weakly, I dragged my legs to the sofa and lay down. Luca said, don't worry, he's just trying to scare you right now. Desperately, I shook my head and couldn't help but shed tears. Be honest, do you think I'm dirty? Luca shook his head. Like I said earlier, you just got caught up in emotions. No need to blame yourself, you did nothing wrong. They're the ones at fault. I was crying my eyes out as I remarked, you and Jill are truly family. She also told me I was innocent. Luca replied seriously, of course, any decent person would see that they are at fault. I felt drained, completely unable to face the situation. At some point, I fell asleep feeling dizzy. In my haze, I sensed Luca by my side, making calls to lawyers, other bloggers, and the police. Based on everyone's advice, I did nothing until a video was released. When he saw I wasn't reacting, Lynn pulled another stunt. Late at night, he pretended to cut his wrist and was rushed to the hospital. In the morning, there was a video of him on a drip, wailing, Nora can love anyone, but she fell for the one guy in the world I absolutely cannot accept. Of course, there were speculations. Probably hired trolls, as some even guessed his son Leon was involved. Such absurd tactics weren't likely to convince many, so I planned to ignore it. But by lunchtime, Lynn announced he planned to sue me. Claimed I used his ideas for a hit video without permission, calling it malicious infringement. This is outrageous. I started my channel on my own, came up with ideas, shot footage, edited, and promoted. As it grew, I formed a dedicated team for creativity, filming, editing, and management. Thank heavens, even during the peak of my affection for him, I only helped funnel traffic his way. When did Lynn ever work on my content? I have no idea. During his time with his own channel, my team even lent him some assistance for free. He never paid a cent. Let's be blunt. Before meeting him, I had nearly 1 million followers. After meeting him, I helped redirect so much traffic his way. Leeching off my reputation, he casually did a paid live stream and made millions in one night. Has he forgotten so quickly? Ridiculous. Like a classic fable of the farmer and the snake. I've had enough. Suddenly, I had the strength to fight back. The past few days, Luca juggled updating his videos while dealing with my issues, often falling asleep on the sofa during the day. Feeling touched, I gently brushed his forehead and whispered, Luca, thank you. I'm ready to stand up. If Lynn wants to sue, he'll need evidence. After thinking it over, I remembered when Lynn and I were still in the honeymoon phase of our relationship, I made an exception for him to watch me shoot. That day, he stood on the sidelines of the basketball court. Every time he tried to make a flashy throw, my cameraman would stop him, saying it didn't fit the concept or the image wasn't good enough. The photographer grilled him, you think you're some kind of basketball legend? He slunk away awkwardly, with nothing much to do, shouting, I don't care for watching Nora play ball, I just want to see her dance. In that video, after I made a three-pointer on the court, I did a little street dance. But it had nothing to do with his suggestion. It was already part of the design. Of course, when we uploaded it, we cut out Lynn's loud comments. They were both an eyesore and an annoyance, as others said. I called my assistant, do you have the full version of that video from back then? Of course. Good, get it ready. The truth will speak for itself. Before striking back, I planned to get myself together and went home. I rummaged through my closet and found an unworn black skirt suit. Put it on after cleaning up. Auntie saw me adjusting my outfit in the mirror. I don't remember you having this suit. The suit was a gift from a brand, untouched because I never agreed to work with them. Wearing something like that always seemed too restricting for a sports content creator. But today, I needed something formal. Auntie remarked, well divided. Even the gifts from the brand are more presentable than what he gave you. Isn't that the truth? What has Lynn ever given me since we began dating? I love eggs, and he gave me a small, 12-egg carton from the supermarket, claiming it was for my health. For my birthday, he gave me a children's-size basketball, saying it was to keep my youthful spirit alive. When I had trouble sleeping at night, he said the barefoot doctor from his hometown recommended Hawthorne for insomnia, so he bought me a box of Hawthorne snacks. All cheap, practical gifts. Auntie always told me growing up that if a man truly likes you, his first gift won't be cheap or just some random household item. She loved telling the story of how her late husband, my uncle, bought her a pair of gold earrings after scrimping and saving while courting her. I always laughed at her for being materialistic. When I started making money, I often said, why would I need a guy to give me money? I've got my own. As long as he gives me love, that's enough. Auntie never agreed with that, always referencing a female singer from her day. Entertainment news back then always featured her spending money on boyfriends. I always worried for her. Sure enough, every time she fell in love, it would always end up costing her tens of thousands. Back then, we were only making a few $100, so hundreds of thousands were a big deal. At the time, I had no opinion on it. Now, I think, history often repeats itself. I was applying powder in the mirror and asked, Auntie, do you think I'm really dumb? Auntie said, what's the big deal? Every woman has to deal with emotions. Once you get through it, you're good. As they say, who's immune to love's challenges, past or present? I waved my hand. Alright, you go back to watching your soap operas. Looking back now, women wanting men to give them expensive gifts in a relationship doesn't mean they're greedy. When a guy gives a girl something pricey, it shows he's serious. And if it's jewelry, it's kind of like a commitment. So, in a way, expensive gifts come with a bit of romance built in. After all, marriage is when you worry about the day-to-day stuff. But dating? It's all about romance. And Lin, he didn't have any love for me. From the start, he was like a leech, sucking me dry. I blindly poured everything into him. Thankfully, I finally woke up. He always thought I feared being disgraced, right? Fine. I'll bring it on myself. Shame? Bring it. I've got nothing to lose. Cameras pointed at me. On a basketball court, holding a basketball, standing under the sun, I faced the camera and spoke. It's been a while since everyone's seen me, huh? Sorry about all the mess my ex-boyfriends caused. We should have broken up ages ago, but my fear dragged it out, making it a public drama. Yeah, people online are guessing he's got dirt on me. I bit my lip, like the little videos some are talking about. Yeah, I did film them. I paused, glancing at my team across the way. They were all looking at me, full of encouragement and hope. Luca was there too. He contacted me as soon as he woke up, saying he wanted to be there when I filmed this, to cheer me on. I looked at him, and he nodded, eyes full of warmth. Like some folks online say, I've got a real love-struck brain. Getting it out there helped me relax. No joke, I even went to a hospital's neurology department to get a CT scan to prove it. The doctor reassured me that my brain's perfectly normal. To quote a famous line, I just made the mistake that any woman could make, to believe in a man, to believe in love. I believed so much that I lost my sense of reason and myself. And I paid a steep price for it. Pretty soon, there might be sensitive pics or videos of me online. Some suggested I could say it was AI face swapping to brush it off. But I won't. Because I did nothing wrong, they did. I just ask everyone not to spread or share any sensitive images or videos. We all have a duty to do the right thing, not the wrong. Thank you, everyone. As soon as that statement was out, Luca was the first to share it. He even rallied all the bloggers he knew for help. For a moment, the online discourse turned into a full-on Lin bashing fest. A couple of female lawyer bloggers even stepped up. They released a joint statement saying if Lin dared to release any videos, they'd send him straight to jail. Under enormous pressure, Lin didn't dare release the video, but he tried another plan. He dragged Leon and Lisa into it, claiming they'd back up that I was into his son long before, but to no avail. Online trolls roasted him. Is he even human? Ghosts wouldn't dare make up such lies. The timeline doesn't even match. Can he think a bit before speaking? His pay-per-view streams got 0 viewers. People online said, we're not indulging him. We don't throw our money away just like that. Lin did operate a small company, but this whole drama led to its stock diving, losing $50 million in valuation. Sure, the company wasn't big, but he tried to act like a big shot. Looking back, I can't believe how into him I was. Calling myself love-struck 100 times wouldn't be enough. Thankfully, this mess ended without incident. Lin eventually came clean, saying he deleted the terrifying videos. And if they turn up, it wasn't from him. Despite his attempts to patch things up, his reputation took a hit. Word is, he ended up a social pariah in his business circles, and eventually, he and Leon went abroad. At least he didn't take my $2 billion with him this time. The nice thing is, after this ordeal, I'm no longer love-struck. I swapped my phone case for one that says stay away from men. And I focused on work, thinking about story ideas until my head hurt. I got close with Jill too. In her free time, she's working on a project that gives free tampons to girls in poor rural areas. I happily signed a donation check. If a girl's gonna spend money, it should be like this, right? Jill jokingly calls me her financial backer. Now, for some fun stuff. The love-struck one now is Luca. He's openly pursuing me. He even bought an island to cement our relationship, just to show he's serious. Yep, you read that right. He got a friend overseas to help him buy an island, somewhere in Southeast Asia. I told him, no matter if we end up together, I'd never live there. I love the city, where life's easy and comfortable. He said the island's just for our wedding, he doesn't want to live there long. I sighed, relieved. Good thing you didn't think about giving me a star. He was silent. All my hair stood up. You didn't really buy a star, did you? He admitted, no, I just named a star over the UK after you. How much did it cost? Ain't cheap. Just a few $dozen. Do you want to see the certificate? I couldn't hold back any longer. I reluctantly said, Luca, it's not that I don't like you. Haven't you noticed I changed my phone case? Honestly, I just need some space right now. I really want to step back from dating for a while and focus on improving myself. Luca ruffled my hair and said, that's fine, I'll wait for you. I sighed and asked the burning question in my mind. For a guy, you really have this romance-centered mindset. Why is that? Luca looked into my eyes. His eyes were like clear springs, and I could see my reflection shimmering inside them. He said, because when a man truly falls in love with a woman, he becomes romance-driven. Really? I lowered my head, pondering the truth of his words. A gentle kiss landed on my head. A wave of sweetness washed over my heart. So, this is what normal love feels like. The end.